Welcome to our one-month festival, Harmony in Music. Through this concert, I would like to demonstrate the importance of harmony among performers, as well as in an audience. I thank everyone for coming out to support our cause and making this possible. All donations will be going to the organization Baby Box. I will be showing a short clip giving more insight into this organization.
That fact, hundreds of unwanted babies are abandoned on the streets of Seoul, South Korea every year. Many of them do not survive.
And this tragic loss of life moved the pastor to set up a way for saving unwanted babies.
I first read an article about Pastor Lee in June of 2011. And it was all about this pastor in South Korea who had built a mailbox for abandoned babies.
버려지는 것뿐만 아니라 버려지고 나서 발견을 해야 되는데 발견을 못해서 아이가 죽는 경우가 있어요.
이 아이들을 보호하지 않으면 자칫 우리 병원 앞에서 사체가 발견이 될 수밖에 없는 그런 상황입니다.
나는 그 현장에 있으니까 이 아이들이 있으면 좋겠습니다. It was like this guy had built a bunker for babies and was defending it with his life and saying no one dies here, and I was compelled by that. I flew to South Korea to make a movie about saving babies, and I had no idea God was going to save me. So I became a Christian while making this film. And so Pastor Lee changed everything, because he showed me what God's love was really like.
The love of Pastor Lee and his wife really gripped my heart, because there's too few people in this world that really show the love of God.
내 부모는 나를 버렸으나 여호와는 나를 건져주시니 이 주님의 마음을 가지고 이 박수를 세차 후덕후덕 큰 낙조선이 가서 큰 물을 보니까 아이를 낳고 가슴이 차 하나님 그 생명을 하고 싶어 살려주시고.
Those kids that get dropped off in a box, they're not the only ones that are broken. They're not the only ones that are helpless. When it comes to living forever, we're all like those kids, bound up in the dark, waiting for somebody to come save us. I want people to know what God's love is like. It's like gritty. I will do anything and give everything for you, beloved, even if you don't deserve it.
This is a matter of the heart. If that inherent value of the baby's life is not there, there's always going to be babies dumped in the trash.
이 세상에 태어나서 평생 나는 도움 없이 살아갈 수 있는 그 아이들 하나님 쓰시고자 했는데 우리 아들 엄마가 병원 생활을 14년 동안 병원 생활을 하는 동안 OneMonth를 통해서 정말 귀한 생명의 주름을 알게 됐고.
They really see Eman as a blessing and believe that God blessed Eman with his, what we would call shortcomings, so that Pastor Lee would start this ministry and save hundreds of precious lives.
So when people see this film, I hope they see something real. I hope they see the least hypocritical, least cynical, most genuine love.
At the very core, I hope it grips the heart of every viewer to say, we as human beings, created in the image of God, can do so much more for those around us.
When people watch this film, they are going to come away with the understanding that every human life matters.
Pastor Lee started as my main character. He started as kind of the hero, the point, the purpose of the film. But after I experienced what Pastor Lee did many years before, it was really just about God and how he works through the lives of very broken people and makes something beautiful out of it.
His life has had the most profound impact on my understanding of the gospel. Here's this man that has literally sacrificed everything he's probably ever dreamed of for these children. That's the most beautiful picture of the gospel we've ever experienced.
That is what we need in this world today, examples like Pastor Lee.
그 아이들의 아버지가 되기로 결심한 것은 하나님께서 나를 양자 삼으셨잖아요.
To love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, and mind, and to love your neighbor as yourself. There's no greater example than the Dropbox.
gift can provide the necessities and medical support for the abandoned children and the single mothers in Pastor Lee's care. Please join us help Pastor Lee provide for the most vulnerable members of the society and also give them hope that every human life is sacred and worthy of love. The donation box will be on your right, and thank you so much for coming, and I hope you enjoy the show.
everybody. My name is Soo-Kyung Park. I'm a teacher of Ellen Park, who's actually the daughter of Mr. and Mrs. Park here. I'd like to welcome you to the concert, and I wanted to kind of explain what One Month Festival is a little bit about and who are really participating in the concert tonight. One Month Festival, it started out as one day festival in Korea. Mr. Park Chang-soo in Korea wanted to have a concert, start a house concert series in Korea, and it was so successful, and people loved it. And they didn't have to go to the big concert halls or anything like that, and they were able to listen to great music in the private house, just like how it was years and years ago in Europe and in many places. And it was so successful that it just kind of turned into more extended version. And now this year, during the whole month of July, every day of July, there's been a concert at somebody's house or somebody's hosting a One Month Festival concert. And in all over the world, I think it's more than, I couldn't even count because there were so many. And we're just so honored to be participating. And the idea of raising funds for Baby Box came about, and we thought that having so many young musicians and young ladies involved in this, just to be aware of the value of the life and birth would be a really great education for them as well, and just for all of us to be aware of what's going on was really important. So I'm really honored that so many of you are participating in this, and I would also like to just kind of explain a little bit about the performers who are involved, because some of the performers, actually I've met them for the first time today, and the clarinet ensemble, they were so nice enough to come and join the concert today. I just happen to know their coach, and I've heard of their ensemble, and they've been participating in the New York Youth Orchestra Chamber Music Program with Ellen, and they've been playing together for 1 year. They were on stage at Carnegie Hall, I think past April, and they were just really happy to join this tonight. And singer Ji-eun Hong, I think we're going to hear a little bit later. She's someone actually who, I think, out of all of us who were able to visit Baby Bob's facility in Korea. So she's going to talk about that a little bit later. And then we have wonderful young musicians, friends of Ellen from Manhattan School, and from my studio that they're going to be coming on now to play. And then some of my older students, my former students, were really just happy to join this big celebration as well. So I hope you enjoy, and enjoy the rest of the evening. Thank you. section. While I was making the program, we wanted to kind of somehow fit all the great information into this program. So you're probably wondering, why am I reading the first part? Because it's in Old French, because Mozart, the poems by Mozart, Mozart, is that right? He's a very old guy, so he used Old French. And I wanted to just help you out and put the English version, but then instead of cutting the English version, now you have the Old French version, if anybody can read it.
So if you don't read French, especially Old French, I have a translation. It's a very short version. Dear Nightingale, you're singing such a beautiful song to your lover. I am singing beautiful song as well, but your lover returns your love, but my lover closes her ears not to hear my song. That's what it is. And you have second song translation in English. 박스에다가 아이를 금방 난 아이를 담아서 놓고 도망간 거예요, 누가. 그랬는데 그 아이가 그 밤중에 한겨울에 아무것도 덥지 않고 박스 안에 있는데 생선 냄새가 나니까 이제 고양이가 이렇게 지나갔대요. 그래서 그걸 보시고 목사님이 섬뜩하신 거예요. 아, 이렇게 아이를 두고 갔으니 누가 어떻게 될 줄 알아요, 그 밤에. 그래서 그때까지는 베이비 박스라는 그 박스를 그 집에 만들어 놓지 않으셨었는데 그 이후로 TV에서 체코죠 지금. 체코에서 아이를 그렇게 버리는 경우에 그런 벽에 문을 만들어서 아이를 넣는 것을 보시고 아이디어를 얻으셔서 집에 한쪽에 구멍을 뚫으셔가지고 아이를 오고 갈 수 있게 하신 거예요. 그러니까 그게 계속 업그레이드 됐어요. 근데 베이비박스의 시작은 2009년입니다. 주사랑 공동체는 10년 전에 시작되고 그 다음에 그렇게 시작되었어요. 그래서 그 다음부터 이제 계속 그것들이 알려지면서 아이들을 자꾸 버리고 가니까 나라에서는 이런 것 때문에 애들을 버린다, 없애버려라, 이 규환을. 그래서 이제 도와주지는 못하고 자꾸 이제 이렇게 프레셔를 주면서 이렇게 기사나 무슨 언론 단체에서 이런 좋지 않은 얘기를 자꾸 하게 되는 거예요. 그래서 많은 어려움을 겪고 계시고 또 그 다음에 2013년에 2012년에 우리나라 입양법이 바뀌어서 아이를 낳아서 입양하려면 아이를 등록을 해야 되는 거예요. 그 부모가 아이들을 주민등록 호적에 올려야 되는 거예요. 근데 이제 많이 아이를 버리는 경우는 다 미혼모 또 청소년 아이들이 그렇게 아이를 갖게 돼서 버리는 거기 때문에 아무도 아이를 호적에 올리고 싶어 하지 않죠. 근데 호적에 올리지 않았기 때문에 아이를 버려야 되는데 버릴 곳이 없는 거예요. 그래서 제가 6월에 한국에 갔을 때 도착한 날 TV를 딱 틀었는데 뉴스가 아이를 지하철역에 버리고 줄줄 말아서 버리고 갔다는 그런 이야기였어요. 아이를 두고 갈 곳이 없기 때문에 성은 무자비하게 개방되고 그다음에 아이들에게 성교육은 시키지 않기 때문에 이런 일들이 일어나고 있는데요. 그래서 2013년, 12년부터 아이를 버리는 그 넘버가 100명, 200명, 300명 이렇게 막 증가하는 거예요. 그러니까 그 법이 바뀐 이후로 그렇게 되기 때문에 주사랑 공동체에서 하는 일들이 우리나라 입양법을 다시 바꾸는 것에 대해서 일하고 있고요. 그 다음에 미혼모들이 아이를 잘 키울 수 있도록 미혼모들을 경제적으로 또 여러 가지를 도와주는 일을 하고 계시고요. 그 다음에 이종락 목사님께서 이 법이 바뀌기 전에 아이들을 굉장히 많이 입양하셨기 때문에 그 단체에서 한 20명이 넘는 아이들을 다 테이크케어를 하고 계세요. 그래서 애들을 학교에 보내고 운동이 필요한 아이들을 운동하러 보내고 그런 치료가 필요한 아이들을 치료하러 계속 보내는 그런 일들을 하고 계시고 또 장애 출산 아이를 위해서 고민하는 부모님들께 아이들을 낙태하지 말고 키울 수 있도록 그런 방법들을 제시하고 그들을 도와주는 일들을 하고 계십니다. 그래서 오늘 이렇게 오셔서 좋은 음악을 들으시고 또 같이 도네이트를 많이 해주시면 거기 필요한 모든 일에 정말 소중하게 쓰일 거라고 생각됩니다. 여러분 참 감사합니다.
I would like to thank Mrs. Park and Mr. Kim for hosting this concert, beautiful space, and just really welcoming us with so much generosity. So I would like to thank both of them. If you could. Thank the performers and parents. They've been so wonderful. I mean, the little quartet, they had to rehearse a number of times, and the parents were so wonderful to drive them here and there, and and coordinate their busy schedule. Because the little kids are busier than we are actually, and parents did a wonderful job. So I want to actually thank the parents. Also, wonderful musicians who were so willingly wanting to do this and wanting to just participate. When I asked them, they were just all said, "Sure, I'll do it," and with such pleasure. So I want to thank all of them for participating. Mr. Park and Mrs. Park, they went beyond what they had to do and prepared a wonderful reception for all of us. So I hope that you will stick around and join the reception afterwards, and also meet the performers afterwards. And if you can just encourage the young musicians to do even better next time, that would be really great. Thank you very much.